Good morning, you beautiful people. Another beautiful day. Yeah. It's Saturday. Worry about today, don't worry about tomorrow. Hope y'all 5 senses work. And you must pledge your allegiance to the bat and the spider. What's up? Alright, let's do this. Okay, remember when EA brought the loot box to Star Wars, right? And remember the controversy it caused? Remember when they decided to go challenge Europe? And they went to go challenge Europe, and Europe fought back and laid a law down. And then remember when EA tried to make up for lost time, because you can't be in court at the same time and then you got video games to make. You can't do both at the same time. It's either you're going to do one or you're going to do the other. So EA was in court trying to fight the European Union when they were supposed to working on their games like Anthem, Mass Effect, Star Wars, and all those sports games that they got, right? So what EA tried to do, was try to make up for lost time. Making up for, you can't make up for lost time in life. So what they tried to do was make up for lost time by sacrificing Anthem. They was going to give up on Anthem and then focus on Mass Effect, Star Wars, and Dragon Age and all that, right? Now you know the story, what's going on with Battlefield, right? Okay, because with Battlefield, you know, Battlefield was going toe to toe with Call of Duty, right? But they fell off and created the loot box and then went into Europe and tried to fight the European Union, right? Well, today, Europe laid the law down again. They're not playing about this loot box system. Listen to this. It says here, ASA issues new guidance to tighten rules on ads for in-game spendings. That's talking about gambling and loot box. Okay. It says here the UK Advertisement Standard Authority has tightened some of its guidelines around the advertising of in-game spending. The new guidance covers advertise which might appear via in-game storefront or platform store, as well as a general advertising for games, and is aimed at stopping adverts which might mislead consumers on extent and price of microtransaction and how items might affect gameplay and pressure you into a purchase. However, the ASA concede a different in-games which allow you to only purchase a premium currency rather than once which lets you earn some of it too. The conclusion was that the ASA would treat games differently, which view an in-game currency as a direct analog to real-world money. For those games which do only offer premium currency via real-world money, the ASA says adverts for purchase made with that premium currency must make clear how much that is actually worth. So, for example, an advert for a new skin you buy for 2,000 gems should also provide a pound or dollar equivalents for that amount. Or, if you already have a balance of 1,000 gems, for example, how much the remaining balance of 1,000 gems will cost you to complete your purchase. Games should make clear in advertising if they require you to spend at least a certain amount, say on $5 worth of gems, just to buy a virtual item worth less, leaving you with a leftover balance. Misleading tags, best offer, most value, and FOMO, including countdown timers, are also a no-no. When it comes to loot boxes, see what I told you? When it comes to loot boxes, advertising must make it clear if they exist in a game, with a notification on store page at a minimum. But the ASA admits it was not able to overstep its jurisdiction here. The organization responsible for determining whether random items purchasing is a form of gambling is the Gambling Commission, and changes to the law surrounding the definition are subject to work by DCMS. The ASA wrote, adding that it was not entitled to make a determination about whether random items purchased constitute gambling or should be treated as such. However, the ASA acknowledged that many response to its consultation on the new guidelines from the game industry, which highlights the risk of harm from spending on gambling like loot boxes, and said this would be a factor in how it viewed its cases. The ASA has said it will deal with complaints on an informal footing for up to 6 months as the new guideline settles in. After that, it will return to its usual procedures for pursuing cases formally. This is huge and will require significant shift in current industry practices. Legal partner Peter Lewin wrote today in the response to the ASA new guidelines. While the ASA cannot find companies itself, Lewin conclude it has a track record of affecting change by simply naming and shaming offenders. After that, it is able to refer cases to regulators to take further action if necessary. And let me see the comments here. Let me see what people are saying here. Whoops. Let me get this. Comment time. Let's see what we got. 10 comments here. Here we go. First comment. One person say, I hope this sort of action spreads elsewhere. It would be nice to see an end to those in-game pop-up constantly reminding you to buy coins and check out the new store, and seeing a real-world pricing in-game store is a big step. I think it becomes really easy to forget how much some of those skins really cost when they just say 1,200 Funorama points or whatever, actually putting 20 E22 or how much might actually make people realize how much these companies overvalue digital skins. Next person, he said, I think this is excellent news. High times somebody did something to try and rein in the more predatory exploitative practices in games. Next person say good. Next person says this is encouraging news. It is great some people out there are trying to do something even if progress is incredibly slow. One thing that pretty obvious by now is that the gaming media is in general sure as curse word aren't prepared to do anything about it. Alright, next person. A big step, but only one of many necessary. Still, some progress is better than none, and this is good progress. And then the next person reply, I hope this is a sign of more good things to come. And then the next person replied, about time. Next person replied, he said, it is a step in the right direction for sure. Hopefully the UK Gambling Commission, who are coming under increased pressure on this topic, will finally grow some BALLS and classify in-game gambling, sorry, I mean loot box, no, surprise mechanics as gambling. Anyway, next person say, positive step, I would prefer getting rid of these premium currencies totally and just saying items cost XXX, but honestly, I want the Gambling Commission to do their thing. And a person, last comment, I think this is the last one, yeah, last comment, person says, a decade late. So those are the 10 comments. So this entire article stems from what EA did with Star Wars Battlefront 2 loot box system, and how loot boxes affects video games, put pressure on people, and spending more than they already need, and overspend, and put people in debt, and make people even broke. So the European Union, unlike the United States, is putting their foot down and letting people know, letting the gaming industry know that they're not going for it. You know, so I had seen an article too about a couple of days ago when EA talked about they're gonna keep doing adding loot box to their games and stuff like this. So this article now, the ASA over in the United Kingdom, Advertising Standard Authority, is letting the video game industry what the real deal is, and if they keep going down this road, they're going to step in and take action. So this was a good move in the right direction. I mean, of course, America, you know America and Britain are world powers, right? So Britain and the United States is like a dual world power. So whatever, I hope that this law that happens in Europe, United Kingdom, happens in the United States, that they take this seriously, because a lot of people are becoming now financially hurt, and being bombarded with advertisement about buy this, buy that, and it takes a real strong, mentally strong, even spiritual person to really fight that off, so they don't fall into debt. So this was a good move, and this was good news for the game industry. I hope they come out with another ruling too on top of this too. I'm hoping that the United Kingdom comes out with another ruling, really make another rule on top of this one, and make their actions clear, what the consequences is if you break the rules when it comes to gambling and advertisements in video games. Okay, but of course, the gamers themselves, like myself, everybody else that play video games, must not. We got to be on alert when we see advertisement in video games, and learn when to say no. Learn to say no and ignore it, and just keep playing. You know what I mean? So, anyway, that's the advertisement. That's the news for today on this article. I'm gonna leave a link in the description box with this article. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Bored, dark side. I'm gone. Peace.